Hey, I'm Eric Perk.
He doesn't follow direction very well.
You go ahead.
I just told him, like, I'm going to say my name
Okay.
first.
You're gonna say
All
your
right.
name
I
and say
really
what
thought
you
I was
said.
going first.
Cut. Hey, I'm Eric Perkins.
And I'm Jamie Perkins with the Perkins Builder Brothers. Today we're going to talk about work trucks, the most important tool of the carpenter.
A carpenter needs a truck because you have to get to work with all your stuff and sometimes a bunch of material with you. We're going to talk about why we have the certain setups that we do. There's a lot of reasons, so let's get going.
Well, and you said truck, but let's just say, what if it wasn't a truck? Because I don't want to offend any carpenters that drive a van.
Now, I feel like we need to start way up top here, okay? Why a truck instead of a van, a car, or something else, okay?
There's so many options.
There's so many options. So for me, the truck, okay, we live in the mountains. It's steep. You have to have four-wheel drive to even get to some of the sites we're working on, even in good weather, okay? So truck, four-wheel drive, that's the main reason really, and the ability to pull heavy stuff, which we have to do pretty often. So they make vans that are four-wheel drive, harder to come across, and I just like trucks, okay? Okay, it's
I
out
like
there.
trucks too.
It's out there. That's the reason it's truck.
Also, there is a level of professionalism I think you need to maintain. If
There is.
you're the guy doing the bidding, if you're going to show up and meet people that don't
Yeah.
know you, they expect you to roll up in a truck that says, hey, I'm a builder, I look professional, I look
I'm
like...
successful.
Yeah,
I'm not like totally out of money. I had a truck that was all rusted out that I did that for a while with. Like I'd show up and do the estimates, and I've seen people like looking at my truck like,
It's weird. It's so weird. Like, you want to have a good-looking truck, but not too nice, because then if you look like you got this extravagant...
$100,000 truck.
They're
people
going
are
to
like,
think, they're just going to take my money. They must charge too
wow,
much.
this is getting deeper than I even imagined.
Have you
here.
noticed at the beach? I always get jealous at the beach when I go to like the coast of North Carolina.
Yeah.
You see these contractors riding around these huge jacked up trucks, super clean, giant like aluminum welded roof racks, ladder racks. And I'm thinking, man, what does that guy do? Because I need to be doing that. He must be making
He
a
must
lot
be
of
charging
money.
more money.
But so I feel like having a modest in between.
Yeah.
Not beat up and ratted out, but not so crazy good looking that your clients are going to be running away because they think you're going to take all their money.
Yeah, that's a real pro tip there.
I don't know.
I've found
I really don't.
that to be very true.
We've narrowed it down to trucks.
Yeah.
So let's just keep it in the truck realm. Do you have a dedicated work truck? Or do you have a do-it-all truck that is your family truck, your go out on the weekends truck, and your work truck?
And vacation truck.
Well, it may depend on how many kids you have, because I think that's the number one driving factor as to whether you need a dedicated work truck or whether you can use one for everything.
Yes. And I have 3 kids, so my truck is not a dedicated work truck actually. And I have to take kids to school on my way to work and then be able to go to work, have all the stuff I need. And I guess since I'm starting this, let's talk about my truck real fast. And then we can do yours.
No, you first.
Okay, thanks.
You know, I noticed that Coyote engine actually has a kind of a cute little growl to it. I like it. Yeah.
Now, let me preface this by saying I've been doing construction for about 20 years and I've had all kinds of different work truck setups, if you will. I've had at times a dedicated work truck, plus like a get around town fancy weekend truck, we'll call it. Some people call it like the church truck, you drive it to church or whatever. I had that, but I never really drove the nice truck. It just sat there. So I sold it and I combined into this combo truck. It's a Ford F-150 V8, short bed, the biggest cab you can find because I have 3 boys. And so my dilemma is that I need to get my kids to school because I have 3 kids. They go all to different schools. I also need to have my tools and they need to be lockable and waterproof because a lot of times I have to go somewhere after work immediately and I have to be able to lock it up and go to like a sports game. So that's the reason I ended up with this truck. And I've had several different kinds of bed covers, which I can talk about in just a minute. But this is a very good one, do-it-all truck. And I chose the F-150 because it's cheaper. I don't pull over 10,000 pounds ever. They ride smoother and they get better gas mileage than like a F-250 or 350. There would be reasons you'd buy those if you pulled heavy equipment a lot. The downside here though, no roof rack. So I can't carry heavy lumber very easily. I do have a special contraption that extends my bed so I can carry lightweight, long lumber sometimes. I got some footage of that. But that's the one thing that I feel like I am missing, but I am trading that for the lockable, watertight bed, which you don't have. So let's look at your truck.
Now, feast your eyes on the most beautiful work truck here in the lot. The old Ram 1500. By the way, I've had this truck more than 10 years and it has served me well. Here's a couple things that are different about mine. First of all, we got the roof rack on top. This was a rollover from my last truck. I didn't roll it over. I took it off of that one and put it on this one. So that rack is actually like 15 years old, which is awesome.
And how much does a rack like that cost?
I think it was $300 at the time.
That's pretty
cheap. It was
cheap.
in a box. It was only like this big.
Yeah,
though.
I remember assembling it.
It has a lot of joints in it.
Yeah.
And it's all bolted together, but all the bolts were falling out. So I actually welded all of the parts that made it fold into a small box.
And how often do you use this rack?
Every day.
And it's because I don't have one.
Every day. Ladders,
You use it.
lumber, walkboards, all that stuff. I get it.
Yeah. So
All right.
if he didn't have the truck that could haul long ladders, I'd have to do something different.
I think you would have to have a rack.
Okay, what else?
Yep. All right. Let's check out the back seat. Oh, wait. There is no back seat. That's because I got so much junk. I decided I needed the space more than I needed the seat. Since I don't take my kids to school in the morning before work in this truck, I thought, well, I'll just make this special kind of holding device here. It's got like trays and little
And we custom
cubbies.
made that out of wood.
Yep, little scrap wood here. And so it holds all my tools in the back seat and against the window. I've got all kinds of little bits stacked in there. So it's like a nice little storage kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's good.
And then because of the rack, it's hard to get a total cover on the back. So you've got a box, lockable.
It won't all fit in the back seat. I'll say that.
Right.
All the tools I need to keep dry, nail guns, things
Yeah.
like that. So I could lock this, which is great. And then I've got the open bed, all right? Because I'm always the one hauling the table saw. All the odd bits of trash and random stuff like temporary power poles, right, from the job site. You know, there's always something sticking out the back of my truck, it seems like. I mean, whatever. This is pretty common. So it's a good combination, though, for us to have these.
But that's not your only truck. And let's
Yes.
take a look at your other truck.
Okay, all right.
If you can afford 2 trucks, this is what the other thing is. Let's see.
Okay. My everyday work truck, the silver one, does a lot of work. It does a lot of towing with trailers, but when it comes to towing heavy trailers, and we're talking about like hauling a piece of equipment,
10,000,
like a small excavator,
pounds.
a tractor, a trailer load of shingles or concrete blocks or sand or gravel,
I think that's enough
or
things
a giant
you just
pile
said.
of lumber from the sawmill. I'm talking wet lumber, all right?
Yeah.
I feel like the diesel truck is really where it's at.
It is.
I would have
I will not
killed
argue.
this other truck many times over by now
Yeah.
if I had not had this truck.
And let me add to that. Sometimes it's not a power issue. It's that the actual truck does not weigh enough. Like this truck weighs, what, 8,000
Close to it.
pounds? This truck probably weighs 5,500.
It has heavy duty transmission.
Yeah, so
it has
you want
bigger brakes.
to be like stuck to the ground with a heavy truck when you're pulling as much weight as the truck.
Yeah, and stopping can be debatably as important as going.
So tell us about this truck.
All right, this is a 2004 Ram 3500.
Okay.
I don't know what makes it a 3500.
I think it's the springs.
It's not a dually, okay?
Yeah.
I don't know. You never see them like this. I don't know what's the deal. Maybe somebody put a 3500 sticker on it and it's not. Just like my other
Yeah,
truck.
he bought it used. But this does have the straight 6.
Yeah, it's a 5.9.
5.9. And if
24 valve.
If you tune it, you can get like 500 horsepower out of it, which is scary and not recommended. We tried it once.
See, if you got Perkins money, you can afford 2 trucks. See,
I don't even have 2 trucks.
Yeah, but you got a ballin' truck. It's like 2 trucks.
Yours is newer than mine.
You
have
got
the
2
big
trucks.
and 3 years newer. You have like a 2022. That's a 2018.
We're not
totally
talking about me
backwards.
right
Oh
now.
yeah, okay.
Look at that thing though. It's like 40 years old. That
All
thing.
right. What, Arlo?
No, my truck. My work truck.
He's got something else to say.
Well, seriously though, you should expect your work truck to get scratched up. You can't cry about it every time that somebody rams a 2x4 into the tailgate or something like that, right? So this one I do try to keep nicer, but as it kind of goes downhill over time, you know, age is creeping up on it. This will become my primary work truck, I believe, in the future. That's my thought right now. It could change. I don't know.
Arlo said I should just be locking my kids in the back and putting my tools in the cab.
Yeah, I'd keep the
That's
tools
smart.
safe in the cab and put the
Yeah.
kids in the back, right? I mean, come on.
Genius. Thanks to NordVPN for sponsoring this episode. And if you're not familiar, NordVPN gives you a virtual private network to help protect you from online threats and to give you access to content from everywhere and to prevent bandwidth throttling online. It hides your IP address from websites so there's no more tracking. This may sound very high tech, and it is, but NordVPN is easy to use. You can connect with one click or do an auto connection for a 0-click connection. It's also confirmed that NordVPN is the fastest VPN out there, and NordVPN has advanced anti-malware features that help to protect your devices and you from online stalkers. With NordVPN, you have access to streaming content even if that streaming content is not available in the country you're in. Like when Jamie travels abroad, he has to tune in and watch The Bachelor back here in the States. Terrible. Do people watch The Bachelor in other countries?
Yeah, they do.
I wonder if they have like a, French Bachelor.
I bet they do. I don't see why they wouldn't.
You can also find discounts for gaming and for entire platforms from other regions, and you have 59 countries to choose from. The bottom line is using NordVPN when you're online is smart and easy. So go to nordvpn.com/Perkins Builder Brothers. There's a link in our description to get a 2-year plan plus 1 additional month with a huge discount. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Thanks again to NordVPN for sponsoring our episode. Let's get back to work, guys. Wow, we just said a whole lot about our trucks and what they can do and can't do.
I feel like I could say more.
I'm sure you could, but we're gonna reel it in.
Okay.
What's relevant about everything we had to say for any of you watching, if you're getting into construction or even been doing construction a long time, I think you need to figure out what you really need your vehicle to do for you. If you have a guy like Jamie, like a boss guy that brings, and I called you boss guy, okay, that brings a lot of the tools and stuff to the job, you might be able to drive a Honda Civic to the job with your tool belt. That might be all you need. And if you don't have to go up a rough road at the end, you don't need some huge truck to get to work. Hey, and let's throw another wrench in the thing here. A lot of people wonder, why do you guys even haul all your tools to and from and load them up every day? A lot of people will buy a trailer, right?
Yeah.
Park the trailer on the job, even unbolt the wheels, lock the tongue, and leave their tools in it, okay? That's something that a lot of people do. And that freaks me out. We take our tools with us when we leave because with battery tools, dude, a trailer is just like a fish can. You could get into a trailer with a battery grinder in about 5 seconds.
At least. Yes, we have a trailer that looks like a job site trailer.
Yeah.
Hello. But that does not go to the job site, or at least it doesn't stay there if it does go.
I've heard so many stories as well of people taking the wheels off even and someone coming, bolting wheels on the trailer.
Just bring your own wheels.
And hauling the whole trailer off. Or cutting the locks off, or just cutting the whole side of the trailer open, destroying the trailer, then stealing all the tools. So,
I've heard of them coming through the roof.
Yeah.
So when you get there, you don't even see
Like
anything.
a crane game, just.
You don't even know anything is gone because your thing is still locked up. The
Yeah.
locks are on it, and then you open the door, and guess what? You've been had.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would guess between our two trucks, there's something to the tune of $20,000 of tools that we use daily.
I would
or
say.
like most of the time.
I would say.
So that's a big investment.
And really, I bet you the tool value exceeds the vehicle value.
It does.
At least on mine it does. I'm sure of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure of that
Whoa,
too.
whoa.
Yeah.
Easy.
Good job, Ray. He could
does.
barely hold the camera was getting lower and lower.
Yeah, it was
His arms are killing him.
Have to pull out the camera
Yeah.
stands. Yeah.
Jason
you
was
go.
coming
spot
in.
you.
Boost him
Back
up.
Spot. Always spot the elbows, you know that.
Yeah.
Longest clip ever.
Here, let's give Ray a break. Jason's got it.
Fresh arms.
Arlo and Jono have been patiently awaiting us doing this. We're doing a little bonus look at Arlo and Jono's trucks, just a little scan over. I'll start with Arlo. Yeah, you got to get up.
I went to sleep on it. But anyways.
Well, let him tell you about the cult first.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Arlo's in an Astro
Wait.
Van cult.
No, wait. I used to have a Suburban. And
Okay.
when I actually first was doing construction work, I had a pickup just like these guys had. And then, at some point I went, I'm really getting tired of having all these tools in the back that I have to cover up from the rain,
Yeah.
or fight with that and that. So I started thinking about it.
So you
And I
bought a
go-
Suburban.
And I said, I did some checking around. And I go, Suburbans carries the same weight. You can get them in 2500s as that,
Yeah.
or even 3500s. You can actually put a 4x8 sheet of plywood between the wheel wells.
Yeah.
It'll pull and do the weight. So I was like, that's a great thing.
And you had that a long time.
And I had it a long time, just puked. I
Yeah.
decided no more money in it. It was 99.
And actually, the brakes went out, and it wasn't worth fixing the brakes.
Anyway,
Is that right?
yeah. Well, it was a long story. There was like so much wrong with the brake stuff that needed to be
Oh,
fixed.
okay.
And there
You
was a
gotta have
lot of
brakes.
other things that were wrong. That's
So
like-
now
So
you have a new work
enter
truck.
in the Chevy Astro, which, believe it or not,
all-wheel drive.
all-wheel drive. It's got a frame under it like a regular truck. It actually puts 4x8 sheets in the back all day long, and you can lock your tools up.
Yeah, and let's look in the back. You
and,
have like this thing that slides out.
And I will let you know about this, but it's kind of cool because it's got this. They call it Dutch doors or whatever.
It is.
that's
It's like
fancy.
we're going to a saloon.
Yeah. So, but anyways, and the funny thing is, when I retired the Suburban, I pulled the work tray out and it went right in the back of this.
Okay.
So
So this
Real-
allows things to slide in and out easily.
yeah, and if I take the tools out, you can basically stack plywood or whatever you want. And if you tend to build cabinets or things like that, that's something to think about in a vehicle, being able to put 4x8 sheets in
it is
dry.
That's kind of the maximum
Plus,
sheet size.
being able to deliver your finished product.
Yeah,
If you're
exactly,
building them in
yeah.
a shop and taking them to the job
Yeah,
site,
Yeah, keep
you
your
know,
stuff dry. Is not a bad
that is
thing.
nice. I'm a little jealous.
But anyways, so and
Sweet.
then the other thing is that I really was going to buy a new van, but and trick it out, and then I just go.
It's a lot of
This
money.
is well, it's 2021, and there's no chips, and there's only high-priced vans, so it's
Yeah.
like forget it.
So Arlo
Wait
paid
now.
25.
2,500 for
100.
this. We'll see where it goes. It'll be an ongoing story. I think I'm going to join something
If you
called
don't-
the Astro Van Tribe. You
I
can
know,
actually-
that's the cult
You can
you're-
actually turn these into real four-wheel drives. So we'll see.
All right, thanks, Arlo.
It might be my next project.
John O,
Yo,
we're going to check out your truck.
good luck.
Yeah. So John O's got, what year is this?
2002.
Tacoma, quad cab, 4x4. And he's got a really neat setup is what I'll say. The back seat has all these pack outs, Milwaukee. And did you take the seats out completely?
Yep.
You did. So that was kind of a Jamie move. You're not
Right.
hauling kids, I assume.
My kid's 17. She drives.
Yeah, she doesn't want to ride with you. She's 17. So John O keeps, the important expensive stuff in here. And also, he's got a lot of room for toys on the roof, which he always has toys, which I think is awesome.
Yep.
And then you do have the camper top built for fun. And sometimes this has tools. We're going to see what's in here today. Nothing, just wood, just kindling. So, this is a pretty nice setup. You can carry way more stuff, I think, than most Tacomas. With the seats out, you've got the camper plus the rocket box on top.
Yeah, I went for the exterior storage building on the top.
Yeah. So what are you keeping there mainly?
Mountain bike shoes, helmets, one stand-up paddleboard paddles,
Stuff that gets smelly if you put it in your truck.
speaker, like my JBL speaker,
Nice.
junk.
Okay. Well, and you got the
like a
massive
locker.
reverse lights, and you've got a tag that says your name.
I know.
Jono, that's awesome.
Yep.
Well, thanks for the quick tour, man.
Oh
We're
yeah,
gonna- let's
doesn't
go
take
home.
long. Yeah.
If you're still with us, let's talk about the type of bed cover that I have installed currently. It's a tri-fold hardcover, and it does have a little rubber gasket there. And I like this. It was about $250, $300, and I'll tell you the pros and cons of it. The main con is that you can only fold it here, then here, and the third part doesn't fold up to the back of the cab, okay? So you can only use 2/3 of the bed like access from the top. What's good about it is it's very secure compared to a soft top. You couldn't cut that with like a knife and get in, and it's more waterproof, and it looks better. It doesn't like flap around.
Yeah, no flapping in the highway.
So before this, I had a soft top, which I actually loved. The soft top, it rolled up, so you had access to the entire bed when it was rolled up, but it was not as waterproof. It kind of did a flippy flappy while you're going down the road, and it wasn't as secure. Like someone could just cut it with a utility knife probably and steal my stuff, even though it locked. I do have a locking tailgate, that is. But it did cover up what was in there. So if anyone was just walking by, you wouldn't say, oh, there's a bunch of expensive tools right here. Let me grab them. So I never had any theft with that roll up. I did have a camper top before this, okay?
Stylish.
It matched the color of the truck and everything. But I didn't love that because you had to crawl into it to get most of the stuff in the back. If like stuff was against the cab in the bed, you had to like get up over the tailgate, crawl in there, drag the stuff out, which with this, at least you can jump up, on the tire right here and reach most of it without crawling in there. So there's so many different options. It's mind blowing. Like how many, it's hard to sell on one thing. I'll tell you that.
How's your arms, bro?
Dude, that was only 2 minutes. I don't know how he did 5 minutes, man. It's
Yeah, Ray's
impressive.
stronger than he looks.
He must go home and like just stand there like this for hours.
Yeah,
like
he gets
this.
like a 5-pound weight and just holds it up.
holds it.
What it takes to be a YouTuber.
I guess so, dude. Man, I gotta step up my game.
All right. Sorry, that was Dad. He needs help taking the windshield out of his van.
You got it.
So we got to go do that in a minute. There is a kind of work truck we didn't talk about. The like work bed. with
Work
the-
body.
Work body, is that what it's
Yeah,
called?
it's got the toolboxes on the side,
Yes.
built-in rack and all that. Yeah.
Those are super nice. I wish I had one, but I think it would flatten out the back of this truck. It's not made to carry that much weight.
It is heavy.
So I think you got to have an extra heavy duty 2500, 3500 truck to have one. And they're expensive.
They are. And the bed is not good for as many other things.
It's more narrow.
It is.
Because of the toolbox width.
Yeah.
So that's, I don't know.
We
I
can't
would-
say a lot because we've never really owned one of those, but that would be the quintessential work truck, like the crew cab with the work body, with the rack. But then, if you're going to take that on vacation, your wife's probably not going to run a ride with you because you look like you're going to work. Why is your wife going to work with you every day? So, there is that to consider. Work body, though, maybe one day we'll get a work body truck.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah. That's going to wrap up our work truck video. Hopefully it was helpful to you in deciding what kind of truck or vehicle you might need to do your job if you're in construction. Next week, we're going to do a video about work shoes.
Really? I got a lot to talk about.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Let's finish our video with something fun. It's my stepdad. He lives up the road we're working on, and he's got a pretty cool setup for his truck, fishing rod rack. So one day I'll be able to do that. So it might be skis or mountain bike rack or something, but that's pretty fun.
With that T-slot, I have a ski rack, bike rack, everything clips onto that same thing.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yep. You don't have that, do you?
No, just tools.
No, but the T-slot.
No, I don't have it. One day.
Good.